What's goody, y'all? Welcome back to the Winner's Circle. It's Friday. Yep, today Friday. Happy Friday to y'all. Let me know in the comment section what you got going on for this weekend. Do you have any plans? Before we get started though, give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you got planned for this weekend. Say hello to me, but most importantly, tap in the comment section and let me know how you can relate to this video. Y'all saw the title, Chosen Ones Attract Narcissists, okay? Now we really gonna talk about this and get down to this, because y'all know I'm a life coach, book a session with me, and I'll be on the phone with y'all, and you know it's at an all-time high, you know, asking yourself, like, why do I keep attracting these people who are just takers, these people who don't have my best interest, people who don't pour back into me, whether it be friends, family members, co-workers, bosses, or relationships. Heavy on the relationship part, okay? And a part of that is a familiar spirit, okay? A familiar spirit, a lot, especially in the relationship aspect. A lot of y'all that I have come across and that I've talked to and that I know for myself in the past, not so much prevalent in my life right now, but you might find yourself attracting these narcissists as partners, whether it be men or women, okay? And you just asking yourself, like, why am I attracting narcissists? Why am I attracting these type of people? And those are familiar spirits. A familiar spirit is you can have the same low vibration, the same entity, the same demon, whatever you want to call it, the same type of energy, the same type of person, but in a different individual. If you examine your history of a narcissist, people that you might be attracting, whether it be in relationships or friendships or any kind of connection, you might realize it's the same type of entity, the same type of energy in one person, but that's following you. It's because it's a familiar spirit. It's testing you. You haven't learned a lesson of something, and you gonna keep experiencing that until you learn the lesson. And the lesson could be anything. It could be boundary setting, it could be healing, it could be self-love, self-worth, it could be all of those things. But I'm finna really break it down on what's happening with this narcissist thing, okay? Now, chosen ones attract narcissists because, and y'all already know how I am. I'm not really heavy on the titles. I'm just using narcissist because this has been the topic of discussion in a lot of my sessions. A lot of people DMing me. But as far as these titles, I don't care what you call it. A raggedy person is a raggedy person. I don't care if you call it a narcissist, a psycho, a schizophrenic. I don't care what you title it. When you come to a certain elevation, you just realize broken people are broken people. All these categories, that's for the world to say, you know what I mean? And which is fine, but a raggedy motherfucker is a raggedy motherfucker. It don't even matter what you title it, okay? But riding that wave on the narcissism or whatever, chosen ones attract narcissists because you a giver, you a healer, you're kind, you that go-to person, right? Let me know in the comment section if that's you. And all of these traits are wonderful, okay? You that go-to person, you got all the answers, you the plug for people, you got the resources, yada, 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 all these things that I emphasize and point out, these characteristics that I've been doing in all of my videos. You have all of those qualities, right? So with that being said, all of these qualities that you have, you're going to attract people who are takers, okay? Just like in that short that I made, takers always can spot a giver. So you got to have that boundary to where you are balanced yourself out, to where you are helping the right people, but not being taken advantage of. You know when to say no without guilt, okay? Heavy on without guilt. But because you have this big, huge heart, you're going to heavily attract those takers. You're going to heavily attract the people who always want to gain something from you, whether it's your time, your money, your resources, your energy, you just pouring into them. And on the surface, it might not seem like a big deal when they're not physically taking anything from you. You might be telling yourself, well, I'm not giving them money, I'm not doing this, I'm not letting them drive my car, I'm not doing that, but you constantly pouring into them. They constantly tapping into your energy to where you are their happiness. You are the reason why they can get up and move forward. You are the reason why they have confidence, because you constantly pour into them. You constantly tell them that they can do it. You constantly tell them that they're so wonderful, and you pointing out all their characteristics and all of their positive traits. That's siphoning your energy, especially if they're not pouring back into you, okay? Now, how this ties into the narcissist and why chosen ones attract the narcissist. If you find yourself attracting narcissists, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, okay? Some of y'all not gonna be ready to hear this, But I'm going to say it anyway, because not telling the truth, sugarcoating, ain't never did nobody no favors. You can't grow from something that you're not aware of. You can't grow from something that you don't acknowledge, okay? The reason why you attract a narcissist is not because they preying on you. Yeah, they preying on you for sure. Yeah, but it's never outside of you. It's not about them. It's about you. You attract a narcissist because there's something within you that you need to address. And when you stop pointing the finger saying, well, they did this to me, they did that, and don't misunderstand me. Yes, they did do these things to you. Yes, they are raggedy. Yes, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Don't misunderstand the message here, okay? This message, in order for it to really hit home for you and you to really take the lesson from this message, is going to require a certain maturity, okay? And maturity is when you stop pointing the finger to everybody, and that's not minimizing what they done. Yes, they raggedy, okay? Yes, they foul. Yes, they out of line. But maturity and a certain level of elevation points the finger back and say, well, what do I need to do to fix that? What do I need to change to stop this from happening? So when you find yourself attracted to narcissists, and how you stop that, how you dismantle that, is looking at yourself. Taking a step back and looking at yourself. A narcissist can only prey on you if you allow them to. A narcissist can only manipulate you if you allow them to. Anybody, okay? But we just talking about the narcissist here in this video, because this has been heavy in my sessions, y'all. A narcissist can only prey on you and successfully stifle you, hinder your growth, suck you dry, completely deplete you to where you lost your shine, your groove, all of these things, abuse you physically, mentally, emotionally, if you allow them to. Okay? Now I'm holding your hand when I say this. And if you still following me in this video, if you still here, that means you mature and you ready to hear how to fix it. Okay? If you cut off, for all the people who cut off, they're not ready to hear the truth. They're not ready to say it was me. Okay? And again, yes, the behavior is them. But you got to ask yourself, where was I lacking boundaries to let this happen? Oftentimes in these sessions that I be conducting with y'all. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. But oftentimes in these sessions, you keep on attracting these narcissists, and they keep on depleting you and taking advantage of you, and abusing you physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, because you lack self-worth, because you lack self-love, because you putting other people above yourself, because you being too nice, because you being too kind-hearted. When you have boundaries, listen to me loud and clear, y'all. When you have boundaries, when you have healed and worked on your wounds, your self-image, your self-worth. I mean, a lot of these times it goes all the way back to childhood. You know, you got self-worth wounds and things that you went through as a child, and things that your parents told you or didn't tell you, or you don't know where your love is, where your worth is, and those wounds turn into adult wounds. And because you haven't healed those wounds, you are lacking in these areas. This is how a narcissist is able to penetrate you. When you start to heal those wounds and you really loving yourself in maximum capacity, and your standards are here because your self-worth is up there, a narcissist can't play with you. You become a narcissist's worst enemy. A person with self-love, self-worth, who knows what they want, who knows what they deserve, and they're not playing no games, you are a narcissist's worst enemy. Because you can't be deceived, you can't be tricked, you can't be fooled, you can't be played with. A narcissist can only play with you, play in your face, is when you're lacking something. When they see that you're lacking something, they capitalize on the lack, and they fill that void. They look what you lacking, they study it, they study what you need, what you are so desperate in, where you have a void. Then they come in to be that perfect thing to fill that void. That's what a narcissist does. So when you start to heal yourself and you loving yourself and your standards, that's what it is, okay? The standards is what's going to dismantle the narcissist. Your standards are up here because your self-worth is intact, and you're not playing no games. You're not settling for less. Your standards is up here. You're not tolerating nothing. When your standards is up here and you know that you are only accepting people who treat you well, only accepting people who pour back into you, only accepting people whose moral compass is intact, only accepting people who care about their character and their reputation and how they treat other people, because they got something to answer to. They answer to God, they answer to the universe. They know that their character, their actions is going to be a direct reflection of the lifestyle that they live. Your standards will only accept those kind of people. And when you are only accepting those kind of people, you avoid the narcissist. A narcissist can't handle somebody who loves themselves. Why? Because it disarms them. They have nothing to thrive off of. Somebody who loves themselves is not playing no games. They're not accepting the bare minimum. They're not tolerating the crumbs. They're not accepting the verbal abuse, the put downs, the only showing up went halfway and da-da-da-da-da. Somebody who's loved themselves. So your answer to no longer accept a narcissist is self-love, self-worth. You got to ask yourself, where were you lacking boundaries? Where were you not loving yourself? What was you tolerating that you had no business tolerating? What was it about you that accepted this poor treatment to where it was okay? And again, yes, their behavior is raggedy, but anything that you need to fix in your life, it's not outside of you. It's never about somebody else. It's always about you. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control who the fuck you allow up in your orbit. Okay? You can control who you allow to give your time and your energy and your attention to. Because the moment they got your attention is your currency. That's why it sucks the life out of you. When you dealing with narcissists and you don't have boundaries, that's why it sucks the life out of you, because it's called your currency. That's why it's called paying attention. Now that a narcissist has your attention, they can suck the life out of you. A narcissist, somebody who is demonstrating these character traits, it should be a turnoff. And I understand a lot of people fake the funk. A lot of people play the role. They come off nice at first in the beginning until they get you right where you got. This is how you avoid that. How you avoid that is having those standards and those boundaries out the gate, to where they have to show up a certain way from the get-go in order to get your time, your attention, and your energy. A lot of you guys are giving your all right away without really seeing people, and this is what's draining you, because you starting off showing up, giving your all without knowing people. You have to get to learn people. You got to get to learn people and know people before you start giving your all to people. That's how you prevent that. Loving of yourself, your self-worth, your self-boundaries. It's never outside of you. Yes, a narcissist does A, B, C, D, da-da-da-da. They did this, they said that, they abused me, da-da-da. But you got to put the mirror back up to you. Where were you lacking to where you tolerated this? That is the only answer to dismantle a narcissist. That's the only way you will stop attracting it, is that self-love. Self-love is the foundation of everything. Self-love is the foundation of everything. And when you love yourself right, everything falls into place. You will no longer attract these kind of people. And a lot of the times we do have these self-love and self-worth wounds because some of us was raised with narcissist parents. And so we don't know how to love ourselves. We know a narcissist parent will teach you how to look at to see the worst in you while you see the best in everybody else. That's what a narcissist parent will do. They will teach you to see the worst in you. Let me know in the comment section your experience with narcissist people, especially if you got a narcissist parent. They will teach you to see the worst in yourself while praising and uplifting everybody else. You got to stop that. A lot of you guys, you there for everybody. You tell everybody, everybody biggest fan. You're great. You're this. You're so talented. You're pretty. You're gorgeous. You're handsome. You're all of these things. But when it comes to you, that self-talk to you is negative as hell. You've got to stop that. You've got to flip that. You got to start pouring that into you. Excuse me, and cut off the faucet to everybody else until your cup is full. When your cup is empty, a narcissist knows. They know exactly where your void is, and they prey on that void. How you stop attracting narcissists and how you stop that pattern, that cycle, is taking the mirror, reflecting it, turning it back to you, and looking at your reflection, saying, where am I lacking to where this is okay? Where am I not setting boundaries to where I'm accepting this treatment? Where was I slipping? Where was I overlooking, overgiving, overconsiderate to where I allowed this behavior to penetrate my life? The answer is never away from you. It's never outside of you. And again, yes, these people are crazy. Yes, people out here have malicious intent. But it don't matter what kind of intentions they have. Let me tell you something. A lot of the times, I'll be on the phone with y'all, book that session with me, y'all. And the biggest question is, well, how do I not attract a narcissist in a relationship? Okay? In a relationship. How you not attract a narcissist in a relationship is having high standards. When your standards are high, it will automatically weed out the rest. And the next question is, well, how do I know their intentions? You know, you saying, okay, I don't want to attract a narcissist. You become aware, you become alert, and you're like, how do I know what their intentions are? When your standards is high, it doesn't matter what their intentions are. You never have to worry about when somebody else's intentions are, because when your standards are high, it doesn't matter what their intentions are. They're not going to be able to meet the standard. So their intentions are irrelevant. Never focus on what somebody else's intentions are. Focus on your standards and your boundaries. When you have your boundaries and those standards are intact, their intentions does not matter. If you dating somebody and you require them to be, let's say for the women, because I'm a woman, I'll just tell you myself, okay? There's men who will approach me and say, take note, y'all. This applies to men and women. There's men who will approach me and say, like, oh my God, you know, they'll love bomb me. Oh my God, I'm in love with you. I want to be with you. I want to do this, da, 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 and all of these things, and da, 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 da. And I'm like, cool. Now, if my self-worth wasn't through the roof and I wasn't aware, that would woo me. That they would have me hooked just by that love bombing. But because my self-worth is above all, I don't care about no love bombing. Yeah, that sounds good. But because my self-worth is through the roof, I require consistency. So now that you've said that, what's going to be the follow-through? So instead of me being hooked, I sit back and look at the follow-through. Because my standards is through the roof. I require you to be consistent for a certain amount of time before I even initiate anything. I don't reach out to men. I don't pursue men at all. Number one, I'm a woman. I'm supposed to be pursued. But number two, this weeds out the fakes, the phonies, and the men who don't mean nothing, who don't want nothing, but to waste my time and play in my face. I require them to be consistent at pursuing me for a certain amount of time before I match those efforts. And because I require them to be consistent in the pursuit of me, that weeds out the lazy men. That weeds out the ones who don't want nothing from me, but that, well, or to waste my time, or to play in my face, or to make me feel less than or something. Those standards is what's good. It doesn't matter what I think their intentions are. I don't have to sit back and be like, what is their intentions? Oh my God, I don't know. Their intentions don't matter. Because my standards are going to dismantle them. It's going to disqualify them. People who are here to play games with you, they don't have it in them they don't have the pursuit in them. Because once they see they can't get what they want, they gotta move on to the next. Once they see that oh my God, I gotta show up and pursue and be this man and this masculine energy who is authentic, they see, okay, this is a waste of my time. I can't get what I want from this woman. And it only leaves the men who are standing in that king masculine energy. And at that point, because the standards are high, I don't have to worry about what their intentions are, because the standards will disqualify them. Your standards will, all you have to do is stand 10 toes on your standards. All you have to do, and this goes for men and women, all you have to do is stand 10 toes on your boundaries. That's all you have to do. Don't worry about what their intentions are. Your boundaries, your standards will disqualify them in relationships, in friendships, in anything else. I promise you. So how you disarm, how you dismantle a narcissist, how you stop attracting them, how you stop getting into deep connections with them to where they sucking you dry, taking you for everything you got, you pouring all your whatever into them. Raise your standards. Work on your self-love. Work on your self-worth. Work on your self-concept. When your self-concept is up here, the people who are down here can't hang with you. It doesn't matter what their intentions are. So yeah, chosen ones do attract narcissists. But they can only play in your playground. They can only play in your face when your boundaries, your standards, your self-worth is not up there. So yeah, them narcissists is out there, and yeah, they're hurtful and they this and they that. But it's not about them. It's about you. What are you accepting? What are you accepting? Okay? And this video is going to take, in order for you to really chew on what I'm saying, it's going to take some maturity. A lot of people ain't going to be ready to hear that. They still want to point the finger. No, they did this and they did that and did it. It don't matter what they got going on in their raggedy ass character. You can't control people in their raggedy character. You can only control you. And when you know that you can only control you, ante up those standards. because that's the control that you have. And when everything is anteed up, trust me, the weak ones is gonna get weeded out. Them narcissists and people who don't mean you well is gonna get weeded out, because they cannot rise to where you're trying to have them be at. They just can't. Only the people who have the energy to rise will rise up there. Okay. I love y'all so much. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know your experience with narcissists. Everybody in the comment section want to see. You guys want to read each other's comments, share experiences. Okay. I love you, and I'll see you next time.